Hello and welcome to Vidigya. So let's start with our daily analysis of the newspaper. So first we'll start with the Indian Express, dated 7th of February. So the first news, that is Lata Lives, President PM join a nation to pay tribute to legend of music. And the second is on the right hand side of the same, she was voice of India's beating heart, young and old, broken and united. So a stalwart, a veteran in terms of music, the way Lata Didi, Lata Mangeshkar, Srimati, has contributed in terms of Indian cinema, Indian industry is immense. So, as she was infected with COVID-19, and in the first week of June, she was admitted to a hospital. And yesterday we got this sad news that she passed away. So. All the senior leaders, including our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, along with our Honorable President, they all had written on through social media. They have paid condolence to Sri Lata ji, and our Honorable Prime Minister has himself personally visited the Shivaji Park in Dadar, which is situated at Mumbai, wherein the whole cremation process took place. So, along with our Honorable Prime Minister, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and even the Commerce and Industry Minister Shri Piyush Goyal, along with NCP leader Shri Sharad Pawar, Shah Rukh Khan, Sachin Tendulkar. So all these big personalities, senior personalities, were present at the time of the cremation. So, in terms of, I'll tell you about her contribution. She was awarded with Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Dada Saheb Phalke Award. All these awards had already been given to Lata Mangeshkar ji because of her immense contribution in terms of Indian cinema. She has contributed nearly 7 decades in the Indian cinema. The further elaboration has been given, wherein even in Maharashtra as well, state public holiday has been declared, and a national 2 day mourning has been given after the said demise of Sri Lata ji. And even as I told you, our Honorable President and even Prime Minister had all written on Twitter, along with Home Minister and all the senior leaders of the not only the ruling party but the opposition leaders had as well. And this is the first time that this Shivaji Park has been declared as this particular site wherein this whole cremation process has taken place. Earlier, also we had seen that Shivaji Park had turned down into cremation because of a huge number of people who were present. So at the last time we had seen the similar thing of Shivaji Park happening because of the demise of Mr. Shri Thakre ji. So in the year 2012, we had seen this similar kind of a thing happening, and now after nearly 10 years, this thing has happened. Last time we had seen about Sri Bal Thakre, right? Okay. So the second news on the right hand side, a COVID death, a family's trials behind under 19 trophy. So among all the odds, even after seeing a lot of problems wherein a lot of people have got infected with COVID-19 pandemic, so but still India was able to clinch a record side fifth time they had win this under 19 World Cup, and they had beaten up England in the last match, in the final match. So with this news, we'll try and understand that even there was a similar some situation wherein when we were playing against Ireland, we were in a situation wherein we are having only 10 players. So in cricket we need 11 players, but this was not the case because a lot of people have got injured. So one of the person who was injured, he has also played in that particular match. So among all the odds, even after seeing all the problems, but still India was able to clinch this particular under 19 World Cup cricket title for the fifth time. Then Garib ka beta Rahul names Channi as CM face. So as told earlier by Sri Rahul Gandhi in his earlier speech, that on 6th of February he'll be telling who will be the Chief Minister face of Punjab party in the upcoming state election in Punjab. So the current Chief Minister Sri Charanjit Singh Channi has again been made as the Chief Ministerial candidate for the upcoming election that are going to held on 20th of February. Okay, this we can skip. This is about the elections. Okay, on the government and politics page, te- 10 Jammu and Kashmir assembly seats with less than 1 lakh people each. So 3 in Kashmir and remaining 7 in Jammu. So recently we had seen in the month of January itself that the Delimitation Commission has given its draft proposal, wherein it has been said in that particular proposal that 6 seats has to be increased from 37 to 43 in Jammu region, in Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory, and 1 seat has to be increased in Kashmir region, right, from 46 to 47. So now the another proposal, the second draft, which has been given by the delimitation panel or the delimitation commission, and that has stated this thing, that 10 Jammu and Kashmir assembly seats which are there, that are having a population of less than 1 lakh. So out of these, 7 belongs to Jammu region, and remaining 3 belongs to the Kashmir region. So this has been opposed by the opposition leaders, the state political parties, especially National Conference, People's Democratic Party, PDP, and other parties as well. So that's why. But this draft proposal has already been extended for the second time. Okay, this is also about Shri Lata Mangeshkar ji. So as we can see in the photograph as well, Honorable Prime Minister and the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, right? Shri Uddhav Thackeray ji, then NCP leader and Shah Rukh Khan, Sachin Tendulkar, all these personalities were present at that time. Okay, so now we come down to the editorial page. So the first editorial is talking about our inner voice. Lata Mangeshkar represented us collectively. She also represented each one of us in our singularity. So herein the author, he's talking about the immense contribution what has been made by Srimati Lata Mangeshkar ji in Indian cinema for the past 7 decades, and the way she has changed the overall mindset of Indian people through her voice, through her songs, which she had sang. So in this whole editorial, the author is talking about the contribution which has been made, and even her songs were not only you know being listened even in India only, but even in Pakistan as well, and even the song that is Mere Watan Ki Logo, which was sang by Srimati Lata Mangeshkar ji after this Indo-China war, and even her contribution is so immense that she had sang more than nearly 25,000 songs, right? And she was always ready to learn new things, because there were even in this editorial has been discussed that there were few instances that we have seen that wherein some of her principals who were there, who were teaching her, and they had said that you need to work upon these. So this was not like the case that she was adamant, she was ready to work hard, she was ready to work more and more hard. And now as I told you that she had got Bharat Ratna in the year 2001 along with Dada Saheb Phalke Awards. So all these awards had already been conferred to Srimati Lata Mangeshkar ji. So in this whole editorial, all these things have been talked. Even some songs that she had sang, the author has also mentioned about that same thing as well. Then second editorial, when she speaks up, there is a link between assertiveness of minority women and attacks like Bulli Bai. So these Bulli Bai app deals and Sulli Bai app deals, which we have seen recently for the past 1 year, and this Bulli Bai incident is a recent one. So herein what the author is trying to say, that it has been seen that the minority women, especially Muslim women, they are getting targeted, and this has been seen in the recent past, especially with respect to these apps like Bulli Bai and Sulli Bai. So the author is also talking about the representation of especially minority movements, which is not so much, especially with respect to in the general if you see the current situation in the country. So the author has talked about the same, and even the author has talked about the contribution of even in at the time when the CA protest which was going on at Shaheen Bagh. So even at that time also we had seen that there were a lot of minority women who were there, especially Muslim women who had contributed there, who were sitting there, who were holding a protest. So the author has talked about that thing as well. Along with that, even the sexual harassment cases which we seen recently a lot of times. So the author has also talked about that thing as well. So herein what the author is trying to say that the representation of especially minority women's has already been shaken with these apps, and even those Muslim women who are contributing immensely in terms of through protest and different things, they also can't get into limelight, and they even after seeing a lot of hardship, they cannot come into limelight or in the mainstream media as well. Then the first opinion, India's song. Lata Mangeshkar gave the nation a song for every mood, movement, journey. The stillness after her will be broken by her songs. So, in this particular opinion, the author has talked about, as I told you, the immense contribution of Srimati Lata Mangeshkar ji in the Indian film industry and Indian cinema. So, through her variety of songs and through her work, she has made this thing. In general, that for every mood, every kind of atmosphere which is there, the kind of variety, the versatility that she has sang in terms of her contribution to Indian cinema has laid a way, and she had started singing songs even pre-independence and after post-independence. So a lot of her songs were so powerful, so energetic that it changes the whole paradigm shift it creates at the time when a person is listening to these songs. Then the second opinion, the missing green, failures to honor environment commitments point to institutional deficits. Government must apply correctiveness. So herein, in the second opinion, the author is trying to talk about the recent environmental changes, whatever we have seen, and which has created an impact. Especially the author has talked about the Assam Arunachal border dispute, which has been going on, and even recently we had seen that. A lot of changes has been made with respect to going green, especially after this COP26 meeting, wherein we had made this thing clear that we'll get net zero carbon economy by 2070. So herein, what the author is trying to say that a lot of efforts had already been made, and even the environmental industry, and even in the recent budget as well, like issuing of green bonds, all these things, steps, and even setting up of more and more charging stations. So all these steps have been taken in order to of our aim of becoming a 5 trillion economy, $5 trillion economy. So we are working towards it, but environment is a big challenge, and we need to collectively work upon the same, so that the whatever the targets that we had set, we are able to work towards those goals or our achievements, or our targets that we had set globally. Okay. Drug regulator okays single dose Sputnik Light for restricted use. So Sputnik Light vaccine, which has been belongs to Russia, which has been developed by manufactured by a Russian company, and got licensed by Indian company, that is Dr. Reddy's Laboratories in India, has now will also contribute to this our continuous vaccination process. The DCGI, Drug Controller General of India, has given the green signal to this particular vaccine, and now this is the ninth vaccine, overall vaccine, which is there, and this vaccine will eventually helps in boosting our inoculation process or the vaccination process, which has already been going on at a great pace. So this information, the Sputnik, Dr. Reddy's laboratory has earlier, we have seen, they had reached to the DCGI with respect to using their vaccine as a precautionary dose. So now the DCGI, drug controller, after getting permission from the authorities, and after getting all the restricted trials which are there, so now they have confirmed that they have approved this Sputnik Light for restricted use, especially for with respect to precautionary doses. Okay. The Explained is also talking about the Lata phenomenon, what made Lata Mangeshkar, who died on Sunday, the soundtrack for generations in the subcontinent, exploring the musicians through her songs, her commitment to perfection, and the women she gave voice to. So in this particular Explained, the whole contribution in terms of songs, as we had already discussed, how she has made, and what all things which have changed her, and the way she had made contribution, and then that ultimately leads to conferment of awards like Bharat Ratna, Dada Saheb Phalke Award. So all these awards which has been conferred to, along with Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan as well, to her. Then second explained the ecological cost of creating artificial snow for Winter Olympics. So recently, so this is an alarming situation that even in the as the this Beijing Winter Olympics had already been initiated. So what the Beijing and even the earlier cities which has hosted this particular event, they have gone for this artificial snow, right? So in this particular explain, this has been talked and even a chart has already been mentioned that talks about the repercussions of using this artificial snow with respect to the life, the health of those players who are working, especially how it's going to create an ecological imbalance, environmental imbalance with respect to in the overall economy, in the overall country. So this has been talked by the author in this particular explained, and in this particular explained the cost we are, because on one side we are going for this meets like Kyoto Protocol in the 1997, then these Paris Climate Agreement, then COP26 meeting which got held last year in the month of October. So this is one thing we are trying to work towards these or want to make efforts regarding climate change, and on the other side we are using these artificial snow which are hampering the environment like anything. So this has also been discussed that what is the future of such attempts in this particular explained. So it's going to be quite deadly with the way things are going on with respect to the current situation. And uh, this though we rely a lot in terms of artificial snow when we need to hold these winter Olympics, but still steps needs to be taken so that we need not to depend a lot with respect to artificial snow, which is going to deter our environmental problems. Yes, on the world section, Rishi Sunak admits to attending Downing Street lockdown party. So this particular party, the birthday party of Mr. Boris Johnson, the current Prime Minister of UK, is quite in limelight, and even we have seen similar incidents wherein some of the people had asked for resignation of Mr. Johnson as well. So now Rishi Sunak, who is an Indian origin chancellor in the British government, so he has revealed that he was also there at that party, but he had cited that. He had went there because his house is adjacent to Mr. Johnson, and the reason he has visited because of some official work that needs to be done and some signing work which needs to be done. So that's why he had visited this particular party. Okay. Then on the right hand side of this news, top Biden aide says Ukraine invasion could come any day. US warns of grim toll, says could kill as many as 50,000 civilians. So this is an alarming situation what has been cited by USA with the current situation between Russia and Ukraine, which has already been going on. So now US has made this big statement that the way updates are going on a daily basis with respect to this ongoing dispute, so it is likely that we'll see on any fine day that Russia has invaded Russia will invade Ukraine, and that will eventually leads to a lot of repercussions and a lot of problems with respect to in that particular region, because Russia is already quite aggressive, and even US along with NATO nations is already getting its troops ready for any abnormal situation which is going to happen. So this is going to be a big problematic situation, and US has already warned that if such a kind of situation then happens, then this would eventually kill nearly 50,000 civilians. She and Imran vowed to promote CPEC projects in Pakistan. So as on the 4th of February, this Beijing Winter Olympics has started, and in the opening ceremony we have seen that leaders like Imran Khan, Saudi Crown Prince, and even the Russian president, all these senior leaders were present. So Mr. Imran Khan, who was on a 4-day visit to China, so he had met Xi Jinping as well. So wherein they had discussed a lot of issues, especially the biggest talk which they had discussed about the solving or peaceful resolution, especially with respect to Kashmir dispute. So China has also talked about the same, and even they had discussed about the economic ties, or even about the CPEC, that is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is continuously seeing a protest, especially with respect to Gwadar region and Balochistan region in Jammu and Kashmir. Sorry, this POK region or Pakistan region. Okay, then in the economy section, finance minister has said prepared to deal with US federal move on monetary easing. So after this announcement of budget, our honorable finance minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, she had met a lot of senior personalities with respect to this economy. So wherein she was quite optimistic with respect to the reason the already instance wherein the US Federal Reserve has stated that they'll be changing their or US Federal Reserve will be changing its accommodative stance, which has been going on for a lot of time because of this pandemic situation. So Shrimati Nirmala Sitharaman has cited that we are ready for any change or any increase in rates, especially repo rates, reverse repo rates, if are made by USA, then we are in a comfortable position that if anything happens unlikely, then we are will be able to handle that particular situation. Okay, so herein we end the discussion of Indian Express. So now we'll move forward to the Hindu newspaper. Okay, nation mourns its a night angle. So Lata Mangeshkar passes away at 92. Center announces today national mourning. So this news I had already told you. We discussed at length this news, right? She died in Mumbai, and her cremation was done at Shivaji Park in Mumbai only, Dadar, right? And she had already been conferred with nation's highest honor, as I told you, Bharat Ratna in the year 2001, along with Padma Bhushan in 1969 and Padma Vibhushan in 1999. And she was also given France's highest civilian award, that is Officier de Lala Legion de Honneur, in the year 2009. Then on the left hand side of this news, Channi CM face of Congress in Punjab. So as you can see in the photograph as well, Shri Rahul Gandhi along with Navjot Singh Sidhu, Charanjit Singh Channi, and the current PPCC president, Punjab Pradesh Congress Committee, Shri Sunil Jakar, who has recently quit active politics as well. Yes, this has been cited. Quitting active politics, says Sunil Jakar. Okay, so this is about the state news. Okay, then we move to the editorial part. So the first editorial is saying the interpretative answer to the hijab law. The courts will be called upon to protect an essential religious practice. So what's this particular editorial says is, so this is written by Shri Sanjay Hegde, who is a Supreme Court lawyer, and he himself belonged to Karnataka or this Udupi district. So sorry, not district, a town, small town in of Udupi in Karnataka. So herein the author has shared his personal experiences as well, and even the recent incident what we are discussing or seeing in newspaper on daily basis, that some college students in Karnataka were not allowed, women were not allowed, as they were wearing hijab to enter the colleges. So the author is trying to say that there were earlier instances as well, what we had seen in Karnataka as well, especially with respect to Kanakadasa, wherein a temple is there, wherein in that particular Udupi village as well, a person was disallowed to enter that particular premise, the temple premise. So that's why he had started. He refused to go away and started composing and singing kirtans in the courtyard as well. So after all the odds, this particular thing has got solved away, and when now the devotees, there is a separate place under Kanakadasa has been made, and now those people who belongs to that particular community can get their darshan done from that particular place. So the author has cited that this is not the first time that this is happening. It has always been a focal point, wherein if such a kind of incident which are happening in Karnataka, then Udupi is not left behind in that particular thing. And even the author has cited about a lot of cases, a lot of even the cases which has been seen even in the Supreme Court as well, but still we see such a kind of incidents happening. And the author has also cited about Indian Constitution as well, right? And even the hijab row, he has talked about the way this is not going to be right, that a particular community is or people belonging to a particular community is not allowed because of they are wearing hijab while entering colleges. So this has been questioned, and this has been raised as a concern by the author in this particular editorial. And the author has also talked about Sikh community. He has compared that if such a kind of situation even happens in Sikh community, if would the same standard that banish a female hijab apply to turban worn by male Sikh students. So is it going to be happen? So here the author has questioned this particular thing because according to author, a particular community has been targeted. This has been cited by him. And the author has also cited about the Sabrimala case in Kerala as well, wherein women were not allowed to enter enter that particular temple, Sabrimala temple. So, citing all these things, the author is a bit concerned about the current situation which is happening in Karnataka over hijab law. Then first opinion, fixing frequencies first. Policymakers must make sure that the 5G economic payoff will outweigh the high cost. So even in the recent budget as well, we had seen this thing that our Honorable Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, in her budget speech, she had talked about and she had proposed to conduct the spectrum auction in the upcoming year, this 2022 only, regarding 5G spectrum as well, 5G mobile phone services as well. So there are already a few countries which had already started this 5G rollout, and this has seen a significant impact, especially with respect to connectivity as well. So what the author is trying to say in this particular opinion, that this is not going to be easy, because the way the way the telecom industry is working, and already we had seen recently that Vodafone Idea is already not in a great position, and recently the government had held stake because of non-payment of Vodafone Idea of its dues. So this is going to be a big challenge, and the author has cited that the payoff that they'll be getting, it will eventually goes to a high cost, which has to be got addressed by these players which are there working in the telecom industry. Especially the authors talked about Reliance Jio, Vodafone Idea, and Bharti Airtel, to name a few. Then the second opinion is about death of a terrorist. Geopolitical and sectarian fault lines in Iraq and Syria enhances the threat from the IS. So recently, under a US attack, we had seen that Abu Ibrahim al-Hashmi al-Qureshi, who is the leader of Islamic State, he died and at the place in Syria wherein he was found. So through a bomb attack, he killed himself, and along with the family members of himself. So the author is trying to say that even in 2019, when we had seen that Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the IS founder, was died in that similar kind of attack by USA as well. So the author is talking about the way the geopolitical changes which are happening, especially with respect to Iraq and Syria. So this is going to create a more panic kind of a situation, especially from the rising threats and rising influence of IS in the particular region. Then the first another editorial, that is India's return to Central Asia. While the gains from engaging Central Asia may be minimal, non-engagement could be costly. So what the author is trying to say, that Central Asian region, as you should be aware of, that we had earlier called the leaders, the presidents of all these 5 Central Asian regions for this particular Republic Day celebration. But because of this pandemic situation, we had to, our Honorable Prime Minister had to hold a meeting virtually on 27th of January, that is one day after Republic Day celebration. So through this particular editorial, what the author has cited, that in a continuous basis we are seeing that in order to grow our rising influence, so that's why we had seen this signing of Delhi Declaration, and a meeting that has been convened by our NSA, Mr. Doval, as well, of the NSAs of these Central Asian region, the countries in the Central Asian region, right, along with Russia, China and Pakistan. Though China and Pakistan, the NSAs of both these nations have not come in person, but still then we had seen the meeting of the third Central Asian dialogue, and then the recent, as we can see in the photograph itself, our Honorable Prime Minister along with the presidents of all these 5 nations. So these nations are Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. So it's going to be a big challenge, because ever since we have seen this shift in terms of regime in Afghanistan, wherein now Taliban is in power. So this is going to be a big challenge, that how India is going to tackle this particular situation. So that's why we are eyeing, and we wanted to be an active player with respect to the Central Asian region. So that's why we earlier had thought of calling these leaders of Central Asian region for this particular celebration. But because of this pandemic situation, as I told you, we were not able to hold that particular meeting in person. Okay, active COVID-19 caseload in country crosses 11 lakhs. So this is the current situation, and we are continuously seeing a decrease in terms of new cases. So now, in the past for 24 hours, we have seen the situation that nearly 85,000 new cases have been detected in the country, with a daily death casualties of nearly 887 in the past 24 hours. So the overall active caseload has crossed nearly 11 lakh in this particular situation, and states like Kerala is recording the highest number of cases along with Maharashtra and Karnataka, which the similar trend we are seeing for the past nearly 2 to 3 weeks, wherein Kerala is seeing a record cases in the particular region. Then DCGI grants emergency use permission to Sputnik Light. So this news we had already discussed, that Sputnik Light has been given as a DCGI approval, and that will eventually helps us in combating this COVID-19 pandemic. And this particular vaccine, will use as a precautionary dose, because as precautionary dose had already been initiated in the country from 10th of January. Then green bonds to have long tenure, says center. So this has been cited in the economic survey and even in the budget as well, that in order to, because we had already made a uh, lot of announcement had already been made with respect to steps relating to climate change. So how the government is going to source funds. So what the government is going to do, the government is going to go for issuing of these green bonds. So these green bonds will fetch money to the government, and that will eventually help us in combating this climate change situation. So this has been cited by the center. The Economic Affairs Secretary Shri Ajay Seth has cited that the tenure of these bonds is going to be for a longer duration. This is political. Okay, so this is Russia 70% combat ready for invasion, said by US. So this news we had already discussed, that the NSA of USA, Jack Sullivan, has made this statement that the way the hostile situation which has been there between Russia and Ukraine. So on any fine day, we might see a situation in the upcoming days or upcoming weeks, that Russia might invade Ukraine in the particular situation. So this has been cited as a concern by the NSA of USA. And the Russian Russian government has already been making these claims that they are not going for invasion, and the way US and NATO nations are handling this particular situation, they are creating more problems in that particular region. Then China Pakistan hit out at unilateral Kashmir moves. So as I told you, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, who was on a 4-day visit to China, so therein they had discussed a lot of issues, especially with respect to solving this Kashmir dispute, along with which is not going to happen anyway, because Kashmir belongs to India, and will always belong to India only. So along with the Kashmir issue, they had talked about CPEC as well, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which has already been seeing a lot of protests in the Pakistan region. Then North Korea is continuing its nuclear programs, so said by UN. So in the recent past, we are seeing this particular news, that for the past 2 to 3 weeks, that North Korea is doing a lot of missile testing, and they are trying to increase their nuclear arsenal as well. So this is creating a panic situation, a problematic situation for especially South Korea, along with the USA as well. So this has been cited even in UN as well, that United Nations, that North Korea is continuing its nuclear programs, that they are not protecting any sort of halt with respect to holding these nuclear programs, and this creates a concern on the overall territorial or sovereignty, and this will eventually hampers the current situation of peace in the region as well. So Karnataka protest against COVID curbs gain steam. So this kind of situation we had seen a lot of countries, wherein a lot of protest has been seen, especially with respect to Western economies as well, wherein in USA, UK as well, we had seen that a lot of people are protesting with respect to the curbs which have been put in by the current government, and even in these developed nations, we are seeing a situation of vaccine hesitancy as well, wherein a lot of people are they are hesitant enough to get vaccinated for this COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so this is about this is the fifth time that we had win this under 19 cricket championship, and we had beaten up England in the final match, as I told you. Okay, so herein we end the discussion of both the newspaper. So that's all from my side. Thanks for watching.